Dear friends, welcome to the Mindful Maya podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to understanding the phenomenon of the mind and be free from its conditions. The series features various talk shows given by the mystic Maya around the world in what he calls the conversation from the silence to the silence.
A complaining mind is never happy. It may feel some moments where it thinks this is happiness, and it will find something in that short amount of happiness. It will find something to complain. And again, after complaining about something, it tells again, but it's okay at the moment, it's all right. It would have been better if certain things would be here, would be with me, would have happened, but it's okay. This is also a complaint. An unsatisfied mind is a suffering mind, and the unhappy mind constantly complains, hence it is a suffering mind. To the suffering mind, nothing that happens in life satisfies it. It always wants more. It thinks, if I have this thing, if only one wish that I have, if this wish comes true, if it happens as I wish, I would be very happy. But let's say the wish is fulfilled, and whatever the mind wanted is fulfilled and became a reality. And even in this fulfillment, it will find small things here and there to complain. The complaint not necessarily is about larger, broader, bigger things. A simple complaint, very insignificant complaint, is also a complaint, and that also is a root of misery. For example, we may go to a park on a sunny day to feel the warmth, to lie down, anything that be our wish. So we arrive to this park and we sit, and suddenly there are other people. Suddenly there is a wind. Suddenly you forget your sunscreen. Then the wish of, I should have brought the sunscreen, is a complaint. Or, I should have dressed better, is a complaint. Or, there are so many people here today, is yet another complaint. Complaints in the mind comes in many different ways. Yet the mind may think it's just a small thing, and may find a shade to sit so that the sun is not directly on the face. It may organize and do anything. It may go a little away from the crowd. It will organize something. But the simple presence of this little, very simple presence of complaint shows you that the thread of complaint remains in many other different situations. If you are aware about your mind, you can understand. And such a mind is never truly happy. So there may be many other situations and circumstances. The mind will find at least any small thing to complain about, because this has become now a deep-rooted habit of this mind. Hence it will find something to complain about. And the way of mystics, the way of meditation is that as long as there are any complaints remain in the mind, there is no bliss, there is no peace. When we are happy, there are little things to complain about, or little smaller wishes yet remaining. And this is when our emotional cycle is in higher vibration, or when we are in uplifted situations. When our emotional balance is down, be it by fear, by lack of confidence, be it by anger, be it by hatred, and be it where our idea of something is deeply questioned, strongly questioned. In these circumstances, it is the same complaining mind that complains or goes against of something fully, not realizing that in doing so it is suffering a lot. And you can think of your own personal situations in life where you have suffered very much, or you became really angry about something or somebody, and you have felt this, that you don't feel so good about this situation. You have so much complaint in these situations, so much of energy that goes against of something, and indeed going against of anything that's happening around us takes a lot of our energy, makes us tired. This is suffering. This is misery. Yet, however, if we look at our tiny complaints in the neutral or happy states, and we simply become aware about complaints that we do. Usually we are not aware about our own complaints. We think it's normal, it's natural, it is just me, it is just my life, it is how it is. So simply it goes unnoticed. So when we start to watch ourselves in this manner, and it should start with small moments of life. And the most easy way to start seeing our complaints is when we are in the process of inactivity or non-action, or in other words, seated for meditation. And when we sit for meditation like this, simply watching ourselves and doing nothing, we start to see little complaints that the mind makes. Maybe it says the body needs to move. Maybe it says I can't meditate, there's too much thoughts. Slowly simply by sitting, we can start to understand our complaints. Then there is a sutra, a method to find inner, complete peace, serenity, bliss, leading to ultimately freedom, unconditionally free. And this all starts from this state of simply watching ourselves, simply watching the mind. And that sutra is acceptance of everything with ease. While it is true, as above so below, or as inside as outside, or as inner worldly as outer worldly, it is true equally in both of these states, though it may feel that we can't do this in real life scenarios. And if we really think why we have a fear of accepting everything with ease in the real life scenarios, it is because we have lots and lots of complaints inside, small complaints, yet we have a lot of them which produces fear in us to simply jump in the ocean of bliss that the life has to offer. And when you hear acceptance of everything with ease, and you look out into your daily life, and in different circumstances, different situations of your daily life, remind yourself of this acceptance of everything with ease, and you will find different moments where the mind cannot accept the entirety with ease. There are many different things that we will find in our personal individual life where the mind becomes a barrier, or the mind complains that something else is a barrier to have the complete acceptance. There may be personal, intrapersonal, societal, cultural, political, sociological, many issues that the mind will start to find to keep on complaining about life in general. So it is all right to start with first seeing the complaints and acknowledging and accepting that I have complaints. The first acceptance towards the acceptance of existence with ease can start with accepting that the mind has complaints. And slowly in daily life, what we learn while sitting in meditation, watching our own mind, we can apply in the daily life. We can start by accepting small moments, and not just accepting, relaxing into the situation. Accepting and relaxing into the situation. Or let's say being all right, being okay and thankful towards situation. Thankful because any situation, any complaint that we have towards any given situation shows us nothing from the outside or other people or the situation, but it shows something about our own selves. It shows us about our interior, because the complaint comes from our interior, not from the outside. Situations change all the time. There are different situations. Some situations repeat, or the patterns of some situations repeat. And Someday, the similar situation, we don't have any complaints. Some other day, similar situations, we have complaints. Some other day, similar situations, we are ready to fight. We are ready to kill or die or fly or fight. We come to these situations. So whenever we have complaints about anything, the first thing we have to notice is that this change in us of dissatisfaction is not based on the object, on the situation, on the scenario, but the observer, us, whoever is experiencing the mind of this experiencer has something within. If we start to understand these things, it is easier for us to go with this path of accepting everything with ease. And soon you will realize that as the complaints are gone, life has become very relaxed, very light. So this is like the rule of life or the phenomenon of mind, that the complaining mind is never happy, never peaceful, and it does not understand bliss, which again is a vantage point of seeing the duality of happiness and sadness and happiness and suffering, all existing simultaneously in the reality. So to reach to the blissful state, the acceptance of everything is the acceptance of everything with ease is very important. So the complaining mind, when it understands itself, when it realizes the patterns of the complaining and the suffering that arises, there can be something that we can do about ourselves, about our mind. Then a blissful mind accepts everything with ease, and this ease both with happiness and different situations that may bring complaint in the happiness, and sadness where there is mostly complaint and no happiness, yet the acceptance. So why the acceptance in both states is that some type of mind or some people are of the sadness type. Generally anything makes this type of people sad. And in the sense of Tantra, this is not bad, neither good. It simply is the way how these people are. These kinds of minds are. Yet, if this type of people understand that this is the state of their mind, and it is individually theirs, uniquely theirs, there is a way they can enter into bliss from sadness. It is sad that our whole society, our education system, everything that we read on media, watch on televisions, everything tells us that being happy is what we should be aiming at. And the more we aim, the more we struggle, and the more we struggle, the more we suffer to find true happiness. And these media also show that owning something is happiness. Yet we have all known that the happiness when we own something lasts until we own that thing, and the moment we own that thing, the happiness is simply starting to fade away. Or the mind will complain that as soon as we own whatever we wanted to own, it will find some defects in it, or it will wish for something more, or it will complain, maybe I should have bought something a little bigger, a little different. Complains about many things. Yet what our education system, society, media does not tell us is that it is all right to be sad. And by the total acceptance of whatever state we are at any given moment, and we understand that this is our state, when we understand that this is what is happening to us right now, individually, this is what's happening to me right now, and it is okay, I accept. Just this thought that whatever is happening at any given moment, we look inside and say, I accept, I see that this is happening, and I will experience this in its totality, and I will accept this situation, this feeling. Then the pressure to the mind lessens, it starts to become less and less. The experience from suffering within the sad state starts to turn into a state of learning about the situation, learning about what is it that I call I. This gradually leads us to bliss. And this also gradually leads us to the state of non-complaining, of this state where there is total internal acceptance of the experience without complaints. And in this peaceful state, in this calm state of having accepted everything that has happened inside in any given situation, there is total peace inside, there is total freedom inside to do what needs to be done without being forced by the mind or the complaining mind to do anything. It becomes our own wisdom-filled action instead of reflex action towards situations which we later regret. And this type of mind cannot become sad gradually. This type of mind will simply go on learning more and more. It will go on growing more and more. And when happy, it will have no complaints at all. It will become the state of happiness itself. While on the other hand, on the sad spectrum, while being sad, while finding itself in the down cycle of emotion, being sad, it will accept that completely as well, without affecting deeply to itself, without creating deeper shadows about situation. It simply will accept. So as we are seated in our sessions for meditation, simply just be aware of different things that happens in the mind and try to see if we can sit and have a feeling of total acceptance.
Dear friends, we want to publish these life-changing conversations as a book, and for that we need your help. Please leave your thoughts on our Facebook page, Maya Satsang, and also share this podcast with your friends. Every thought is valuable and every share counts.